Hey, this is Irene, CBiz Media, Faith, Love, and Trends. We have another 90-day recap chat for you as we talk about 90-Day Fiance before the 90 days. And 90-Day Fiance is a reality show that follows couples. One person's from the U.S., the other's from another country. We follow their ups and downs, as well as language barriers, cultural boundaries, the whole legal ramifications of only having 90 days to get married, the pressure, the deadlines. This is 90-Day Fiance, the spinoff before the 90 days. So let's start with Sheena and Forrest. The two of them are out shopping. Forrest finds some hot undies he picks up and like, what do you think about these, Sheena? Should I get them? So they seem happy right now. He said that he's happier than he's ever been. They're sharing meals together, holding hands, kissing. This is all that he's ever wanted in a relationship. Forrest, I totally agree with you. Just to be able to spend time with your person, that's all I've ever wanted too. But we don't want all that drama that's attached with Sheena's situation. So they're trying on clothes. A lot of the clothes he's trying on is too tight. The clerk is watching, because he's not, they don't have dressing rooms. So he's just putting the clothes on over his clothes to see if it'll fit. And the clerk is looking a little bit upset, like, hey, you're stretching my clothes out here. He's looking at him with disapproval. I think he needs a big and tall store because everything he tries on is just not fitting. So he basically says, hey, I'm ginormous. I'm 6'2", 6'3". But Sheena's like, yeah, he is kind of a large person because of his height. But he's also just large generally as well. And she said her previous guy she was seeing was only 5'2", so that's a huge difference. Is he even her height, 5'2"? That even seems like it could be shorter than her. I don't know. He regrets not packing more because he's been trying to buy stuff and he just can't find anything that fits. Besides his banana hammock undies. So they take a break from trying to find clothes that fit. And they kind of talk about last night, the argument that was had while they were eating their meal together with his mom and stepdad. And she agrees to talk to her family about just cutting them off and leaving the situation because it seems like the family is money grubbing and using up her money and even using up Forrest's money from afar. He finds out that he actually needs to talk to the parents because in her culture, the parents must give the approval for her to get married. So he's a little bit upset about that. Said he wishes that she would have explained that to him. She said, let them know you don't really have a lot of money or whatnot. And I guess they'll figure things out. This, for Forrest, is like, this isn't going to be an easy process. She also explains, hey, don't bring mom the first time. Just you come by yourself and we will kind of pave the way for them. So now all the family's back together. They drive by a strip club and mom's like, hey, we can go to that strip club or something like that. And then Dev, his stepdad's like, I used to go for lunch all the time. They had amateur day. So that was a little bit of an awkward moment for Sheena and Forrest. Parents talking about strip clubs. He said, I don't need a strip club. I got my Sheena right here. So actually, mom's having a great time and just looking at all the sites, and she's saying, Sheena's doing a good job of showing the best of her country. Her mom says she has no regrets. I'm sorry, I think that was Forrest's mom said he has no regrets. So it appears to be so hot this day, Earlier, Forrest had to go sit on the side because he was having the sweats. Now, mom is having the sweats, and they're like, hey, let's just sit down and chill. It must be a hot day there. But the Philippines is really beautiful. But now let's talk about the family business. He breaks the news that Sheena wants him to meet the parents first and mom needs to stay behind. She's like, I don't like this. The parents are going to probably bamboozle you and fool you and manipulate you just as they've done to their daughter. And he's like, treat me like an adult, trust us. And she's like, well, I won't attack them. I won't be this or that. He doesn't really believe her because she's kind of attacking them now as as they're telling her this, what they want her not to come. Then Sheena starts saying her family's not bad. So then Mama's questioning this, like, well, I thought your family was manipulating you. Now all of a sudden they're not bad. And is there some type of misunderstanding? What's going on here? And she wants to know, why is Sheena switching up her stories? Is she a calm person along with her parents in this whole scenario? Has Mom proven her point in this way? And what happened to the mother-son trust? For her, she's like, my big issue is that Forrest is throwing me under the bus for this woman. I've protected him all this time. He had another woman completely con him for real, but now he's totally trusting this woman, throwing his whole everything in head first, as if she can't be doing the same thing. I've seen family members, friends, people I care about, when they get with somebody, they will do a 180 on you, and they can give all of themselves to this new person that's going to be in their relationship. Though you've been their friend or been in their life for years, you could be a relative of theirs, and they can just throw you under the bus for this new opportunity to be with this person. That happens. I don't feel Forrest totally threw her under the bus, but I think he's kind of leaning a little too much on Sheena's side before seeing all of the receipts. So now Lisa and Daniel. Lisa's on her way to Daniel's country. She's wearing a strapless bra. And she, complains about how she shouldn't have wore this all on this plane trip, which I think takes days. Daniel saying he can't wait to see her. I think one of them informs us that the crazy kiss is coming. It's going to be coming once they meet. He's nervous, but he's got plans. The fact that she's still married to a woman, they haven't talked about that yet. As she's trying to contemplate, because she's like, I'm going to be wearing my wig the whole trip. I'm going to switch up wigs. Not going to ever take it off, right? And I see her without her wig, and she actually looks better without her wig. So she's in the airport restroom trying to clean herself up, which is understandable, but I don't need the camera on. It kind of reminds me a little bit when Emma was actually changing, but she did a good job of changing. We really didn't see much, but same thing. We didn't see much here, but I didn't want to see her using those wipes to clean her area. She even cleaned her female partner. I was like, that was a little bit too much. Why did the camera have to go down to that area? Didn't really need to see that. Even if it's under her clothes, don't want to see it. She's feeling a little insecure because with this heat, she cannot hide all of the wrinkles and the fact that she's 52. I think he's in his 30s or 39. Yeah. So he's waiting. She's, of course, they showed her in there cleaning every part of herself. We didn't need to see that. He's holding the flowers. He's getting like a little antsy. Of course, I probably feel a bit the same way. Waiting for somebody that you've been waiting to see and you're really super nervous at the same time. So when she actually comes out, he runs to her, picks her up, and tongues this woman down. I was like, oh no, more things that I don't want to see. Thanks, Lisa and Daniel. First, didn't want to see her do what she did in the restroom. Now, don't want to see his face all inside of her face. She's like, you devoured me with that. She was even taken aback. He says, once we get in the room, I'm going to chew you. Like, oh, I don't even want to know what that means. He starts to cry, say she's the most beautiful thing he's seen. And as they go outside the airport, there's some street dancers and a little band out there. I was like, oh, is this what they regularly have at the airport? And she was even asking herself that. But no, Daniel set all of this up. She starts trying to get down and dance with the young lady. And I'm like, we can see she lacks rhythm, but at least she's having fun giving her all, right? But now, this is the reason why Daniel was even more nervous, because now he's getting on his knee, presenting a ring. This is just what Faith was afraid of, And next time we'll find out what her answer is. Even if she says yes, though, she still has time to tell him all of the stuff. But it's kind of messed up that he doesn't know all of the stuff already that's going on with her. And even if she does say yes, she still doesn't have to marry him on the trip, which is what she promised her daughter Faith. Now to Javon and Anna Lynn. Javon, his brothers drop him off at the airport. They give him a hard time. He says he's like kind of catch his breath, taking a deep breath here. And they kind of make fun of him, saying, you're going to pretty much have a hard time. This is the last breath you're going to get because Anna's not a joke, right? Well, he said he's ready to see his wife. Now, as he's on his way, we go back to Anna's country. We see her a bit and learn a little more about her. She's shopping for fits. She's very much a girly girl. Looks like she's having fun shopping alone there. Trying on shoes, these kind of tall, stacked, pink-looking shoes that are strappy. She's bubbly, happy, hardworking. She loves talking, and she actually went to school, I believe, for mass media. She actually worked in that field, but she stopped working so that she can align her time with Javon's time zone, and they can talk and communicate. That seems a little bit foolish, right? But she did what she did. But, this also, Javon has kind of tried to make up for this by sending her $400 to $500 a month. Now, maybe it's in her country worth more than it is here, but that's not that small amount of money to send someone every month. That's a bit of an investment. Her mom lives next door. She has a small store, and she's best friends with her mom. Her mom's opposite of her. She's timid and shy. And she's talking to her saying, finally they're going to have their honeymoon. But she lets us know off to the side, to the producers, she can't wait to, get intimate with her husband. Why not? It's understandable. What, it's been 2 to 3 years since they've actually been married, 6 years since they've been talking alone. And that's all been online. Got married online and everything. So, mom's a bit concerned about all of the things she's dropped so that she could be with Javon. The world's kind of revolving around him. She's no longer hanging out with friends anymore. It's just everything is about Javon. That's not very healthy. They talk about the disagreements that they've had as well. So mom is kind of concerned about this whole relationship. And she's also thinking that he's a little bit too dominant. He might try to change her, get her to be quiet. But she's saying all these things could happen, but she can't just drop him like he's just any guy because they've actually gotten married. So she's really invested in it. He's really invested in it. So it's something that they're going to have to try to figure out. It's not something she could just give up on. If it was someone she was even just seeing online, but the fact that they're married, it makes the stakes higher, which is obvious. So she's happy to meet her hubby today, and so far I like Anna Lynn. She's a bit feisty, like she said. Some issues as far as her giving all of her time and everything and dropping everything for him. That part is really not healthy. So she's looking for a beautiful, classy look as she's getting ready to go to the airport. She checks into the resort for their honeymoon and does all of those things first. She's nervous, stressed, wondering, will we get along? So when they finally see each other at the airport, it's an emotional greeting. And they kiss. They have their first kiss as a married couple. She runs to him. He says that she's everything and more than what he imagined. She calls him handsome, tall, perfect. There's more kisses. They're happy. And she just can't keep her lips off of her husband. Hey, that's her business. That's her husband. While they're on their way to the honeymoon resort, she kind of gives a little TMI, saying she's been daydreaming about him, having daydreams, wild dreams, and even ones that are moist. And I know people don't like that word. She said, I thought I was going to feel more shy around you, but she said she can kind of let one out. She can rip one. she feels that comfortable around him. That was weird. The two of them are opposites, and Javon says that, he's a lot more laid back, you can tell. He says she's wacky, bubbly, and can even hold a conversation on her own. So they get to the nice resort. Everything looks really nice. It's like he lets her know she has great taste. She picked well. He picks her up and takes her over the threshold, which married couples do usually after marriage. It took about 3 years for them to get to this point, but they did. He said she's tiny but heavy. You're not supposed to say that to your wife, especially when you're first meeting her, but at least he said she was tiny. Then he reveals smelly socks. So his feet are really bad because Anna Lynn's almost acting like this is a deal breaker right here. Like, I was not expecting the smell on these feet. Is that a deal breaker? So she forces him to go take a shower before they start their little honeymoon festivities. And she also lets us know it's been 10 years since she's been with a man. Will she remember how to do this? Will she be able to satisfy him? It's a lot to unpack with these two, especially Anna Lynn. She's got a lot going on. So we see them get up under the covers, and they scooted all the rose petals together, and they flip the covers up, and the rose petals go up in the air, and they're under the covers together, and the screen fades out to the next couple, and I'm like, yes, this is what I like to see. Nothing. Please show me no details. They put the covers on themselves. I pretty much know what's going to happen from here. Don't need any sound effects. Don't need any further details. Don't need any more visuals. Thank you very much. All right. Now let's go to Birkin and Burkhan. I'm sorry. His name is spelled like Birkin. Burkhan and Lauren. So it's the morning after so-called nothing happens because Burkhan was out watching TV and told her, yeah, just go to bed. Last night was awkward. She ended up getting back up and discussing with him, what's going on. Why is this awkward? How are you feeling? So they ended up making out. So a little something did happen. And he said, yeah, last night was good time. We had good times. He doesn't look that happy, but he is expressing happiness. But Lauren lets us know he puts the brakes on when it comes to going all the way, sleeping together. The reason being, I'm not sure. Maybe he just wants to take things slow. I believe someone said he was Muslim. I believe that was said while she was with her parents. I'm not really sure about the implications of that. They don't really get too much into that yet. So the plan for the day, though, is more awkwardness as she goes to a skin removal surgery. She says Turkey has high quality plastic surgeons, and she thought while she was here, she would try to see if she could get an appointment, and she was able to get one. Happens to be on this day. She's still kind of insecure about her body. And, Burkhan is asked questions about, what do you think about people and their bodies and her body and how she feels. He's like, well, people are who they are. He's like, I'm happy with my teeth because I'm going to eat. I was like, oh, Burkhan, you mentioned your teeth. It was funny because I did mention your teeth last time. So he knows his teeth are something else. And he's like, you know what? I'm going to eat with these teeth. That's all I have to say. So then they get into the plastic surgeon's office. And Lauren, she goes into the other room, changes so she can get pictures taken so they can see what they need to do for a procedure. And Burkhan stays in the office. There's like some implants sitting on the desk. Why are random implants sitting on desks? Anyway, he's just starting to play with the implants and dropping them in his hand and just seeing how heavy they are and being very childish like a young man that he is. And what is he, like 25, 26? Yeah. So, they get all the pictures of the problem areas that she wants to work on. And, it's private, so Burkhan, he doesn't see anything, right? But when she comes back to the office to talk to the doctor, he's like, hey, let me put all this on the projector so we can see what we're going to do to you. Then Burkhan gets to turn around and see all the stuff. I would have told Burkhan, hey, Burkhan, why don't you face the other way? Because I don't want you to see this, right? So Burkhan gets to see, yeah. And she's asking herself, why did I do this? She's uncomfortable. Well, they ask him, is he uncomfortable? And he's like, not really. I'm just more surprised to see. So he was like, he know how he's playing it cool, like nothing surprises or shocks him or makes him feel any type of way. But he did express that he was surprised by what he saw. Then when after her appointment, he's giving me inspirational speaker. He's being very positive to her, which is awesome. And he said, it's your life. You do what you need to do and just be happy. You lost this weight. You made a big accomplishment. He's saying a lot of great positive things to her. And he says, basically, I'm on your side always. And that really cheers her up for the fact that, he accepts her. And it almost seems like he loves her. This is how she's feeling. This is what she's seeing. She's like, it seems like this guy really does care about me. He loves me. They hug. And she says, you're the best. And he's like, I know, that's my mojo. That was weird and funny. Okay, let's talk about the next couple. And I just have to give a big applause to Burkhan. So for Emma and Zaid, first thing she's doing, out looking for hair oil. Now, I'm pretty sure that's not your real hair, but I don't know if you put that on whatever you're wearing. Or maybe she just puts it on her real hair, like I'll ever see it. I don't know. But she's out looking for hair oil in Zaid's country. She's talking to the clerk, asking him, does he know? And the way he's looking at her, like he's kind of has the hots for her, like he might come on to her. Then he's like, I don't even speak English, so I don't even know what you're talking about. She's like, okay, I'll go to the next. So she keeps asking people. I don't think many of the people even know English, but they keep, trying to help her till she finally finds a place. And the guy offers her tea. She's like, oh, I love tea. I think it's so cool that you just can go into a shop and you just get tea offered to you, like out of the blue. Because it'd be different if you were at the cafe. But this place supposedly has hair oil, but they're offering you tea at the same time. I feel like that's very welcoming. Okay, anyway, their plan for the day is to do this cooking class. So they're making chicken tagine with lemon. And she's like, don't I look like a wife? Don't I look like wifey material here while I'm cutting these onions and doing all these things? And they're really having fun. It looks like they're having fun together at this class. So something about teaching her how to cook comes up. And she's like, you know what? I really don't do that. He says, well, you need to make food. How do you live? And I think she talks about ordering some stuff out or something like that. And he's like, well, okay. Well, he's like, you need to learn how to cook breakfast and all of this. And then he was like, well, what about lunch? And she's like, well, I really just don't do that. And he's like, well, I'll cook my own lunch. So he's a very progressive young man. So I'm glad to see that. It's a little bit of both. He's like, hey, I'm expecting you to do these things. And she's like, well, I don't really do these things. So he's like, well, I can do some of my own things. So I like the compromise in his spirit, because definitely in that country, it seems like a lot that the men are controlling and whatnot. But he's giving me a different vibe. So I hope there's either a change in this country, and also maybe it's the fact that he's a young man as well. Maybe he's a little bit more open-minded. I guess we'll learn more as we go. Then she asked him, do you remember what my favorite food is? And he says the sushi. So he remembers, and she was proud that he remembered that. And then she starts asking, did you tell your family about me? And he said, oh yeah, I told him about you, but we're not going to be meeting up. And she feels like, well, is he hiding something? Because why wouldn't you let me meet your family? Not any of them aren't available. And I think she asked, have you ever introduced a girl to your parents? And I think he was like, no, he hasn't done that. And then she starts asking about what girls he's talked to, I believe is it on the app? Or they're saying, she was asking, what girls do you talk to? You talk to girls in your country, in your area? Like, what type of women do you talk to and what area are they from? So for him, I think he said in his area, he's talked to some girls. Like, he doesn't really talk to a lot of different girls, but then she's thinking back on her app and how she already set this app up to see what type of women he was following, and she sees he's following all types of women from all types of places. So she really wants to know the real story of what is really going on here. And he is playing it super cool, like, oh, I never talk to anyone, I never do anything, I'm such a good boy, I've never seen any woman before you. And of course, that's complete bull, because most people have not done that. That's just not reality. And because he has this app with all this access to women, yeah, that also shows that it's probably not his reality. So they finish making the meal. Now it's time to eat. I really like this idea in this place because they have this area where you cook. It's a really nice area to cook. Then you get to go out in the dining area, which looks very beautiful. And they serve you your own food that you cooked. So I think that was really cool. But she wants to know, hey, what is Zayed hiding? Zayed. She says, girls, you need to stalk. You need to find out what your man is doing, or potential man. She says, don't be a creepy stalker, but be like an investigative stalker, where you're finding out things you need to know. So she's asking him, like, okay, so when you're online, what if these girls are trying to talk to you? If they try to flirt with you, what do you say? He's like, I just say thank you and that's it. That's kind of weird. She asks, has he ever cheated? He's like, no, never. She asks about lying. He says, no, I don't lie. Said, well, you're asking me all these questions now. Seems like you have a secret. Now, after she's talking all bad about him, she does have her secret, but she's like, oh no, I don't have a secret. Say, well, what? I remember you ghosted me a little while back, and why did you ghost me for a while now? And then you came back. She just said, well, I was going through a bad breakup, and that's what happened. And he was like, well, but you were talking to me. Were you in a relationship at the same time you were talking to me? So it's kind of like her little dirt is coming out. Like, she really shouldn't have been trying to talk to him when she was going through a bad breakup at the same time, unless the breakup was over, right? So he's trying to say, well, you weren't single when we were talking, but you gave me the presentation as if you were single and available, but you were still with someone. She reveals to us that she was really going to try to still make it work with her ex. And that's why she dropped Zayed, and then she came back when things didn't work with the ex. She says she feels bad of how she did that and how she handled that situation. Is she changing her tune now? Because she's now the one that we need to be investigating. So it looks like not only do the women have to investigate the guys have to investigate the ladies as well. No double standard here with Emma and Zayed. So that's it, guys. What did you think about this episode? 90 Day before is giving me a lot of good episodes so far. It's early on in the season. So things are looking interesting as everything starts to unfold. What are your thoughts on the season so far? Let me know. Drop me an email, cbiztv@yahoo.com. I'd love to hear your thoughts, comments, questions. Let's talk about it right here on CBiz TV Media. Faith, love, and trends. This is Irene. I'll talk to you guys next time. All the best. God bless.